What is going on, guys? I am back today to talk about a Hulu original horror film. And this was a movie that I've seen talked about quite a bit on Letterboxd and on Twitter. People were discussing this film when it was first released. I finally got around to watching it. I was really excited to check it out. Apparently, this director made a short film that starred Rachel Sennott that a lot of people really loved. And I know that people said the short was really great. And she turned this material into a full-length feature film. And I really wanted to check it out because of the high praise that the short had received. And the movie I'm going to be discussing today is Appendage. Appendage is directed by Anna Zlokovic. After hitting a breaking point, Hannah's inner thoughts physicalize into a monstrous creature that threatens to upend her life. This is a very interesting premise. I was very excited to watch this movie, and I thought it was really good. I don't think it's a perfect movie. I think it falls into a lot of tropes that we've seen in horror films before. It obviously pays homage to films that have existed, like Basket Case. You can think Brain Damage, a lot of Henenlotter, or something as more recently like Malignant. And I'm excited to tell you a little bit more about it today. So Appendage tells us the story of Hannah, played by Hadley Robinson. She's working as a fashion designer. She works in this building developing these different outfits and looks. Her boss is very demanding of her. He's very particular. You can tell that she's trying to work on something that's really important, but she feels like she keeps messing up. She works there with her really close friend, and she also has a boyfriend we're introduced to at the beginning of the film. They spend a lot of time together, but you can tell that she's struggling with mental health issues, whether that be anxiety, depression about her youth, and about her relationship with her family. And she's going through a lot of stuff. Well, through the beginning of the film, we see her constantly pulling her shirt up, and on her stomach, she has this big black looking like birthmark that's like, it's got like discoloration all through it, and it's causing her a lot of pain. And she ends up going to a dermatologist to get it checked out. They're not 100% sure what it could be. Just tell her to keep an eye on it, keep coming in for visits to make sure that there's nothing serious about it. Well, shortly after that, her birthmark starts to grow, and this creature grows on the side of her and starts talking to her and breaks off of her body. And it breaks off of her body, and it's essentially all of her horrendous inner thoughts that she has about herself, whether that be about her well-being, the way she presents herself, her relationship with her parents, and it's constantly feeding her this horrible information. And she ends up tying it up in her basement and keeping it alive, essentially, because she feels some kind of connection to it. And she ends up stumbling upon this group of people who all have the same thing. They've all had these birthmarks, that they've grown these appendages, and they've detached from them, but essentially said you have to keep them alive, but you have to sedate them. You can't kill them because it's a part of you. If you're around them for too long, they can hypnotize you and take over, essentially, your life. There she meets Claudia, played by Emily Hampshire, who a lot of people know from Schitt's Creek. And the two of them become close and start bonding over this. And the entire film is Hannah trying to prevent this appendage from taking over her life and from controlling her life. And I thought it was a really unique idea, and I really enjoyed it because, number one, I thought the creature design was really cool. They really did a nice job. It's very horrendous looking. It's very slimy and nasty. I love the way the eyes looked. There was a lot of attention to detail. It was very practical looking. It didn't seem like there was any CGI involved, which, as you know, practical effects fanatic over here. I love when you go practical instead of using CGI, and I thought the way that it was handled was really fantastic. I thought the performances in this were all really good. This movie, obviously, The Appendage is an allegory for mental health issues. There's a lot going on with Hannah. There's information that we're told about her when she was young. She tried to take her own life. In a movie like this, especially, there's a comedic edge to it, especially when the appendage is talking. There could be a lack of quality in the writing when it comes to the exploration of the mental health elements. And I don't think there was. I think that it's very poignant. There was a couple of moments that honestly almost had me tearing up with just how personal it got, and thinking about my own mental health journey and the things that I've dealt with through my life that have kind of stirred up issues in my brain and helped me fighting with my self-worth and the issues that I have in my own life. And I thought the way the director handled all that was really fantastic. I really loved the message of the film, and I thought that it came through really well, especially in the third act. The issues that I have with this movie It's not perfectly paced. There's some places that I feel like it could have been tidied up. There's a couple of sequences that feel a little bit repetitive. Obviously, this is a first-time director of a feature length outside of a short film, and I think she did a really great job with this material, obviously taking a short film and padding it into a full-length feature. I don't think there's too much meandering. There's a couple of moments that I just feel like could have been trimmed down or shifted in a way that would be a little bit more interesting, but I do like the direction that the film took. I thought that it was really interesting, especially when it comes to the self-help group that all have the same issues. And the comedic beats in this were a nice touch. I really liked that there was comedy elements, but I also liked that the thing was horrifying, and where it started telling Hannah those things about herself and really just kind of digging into her subconscious and trying to pick her apart. I thought that was really well done, and I thought it was really poignant to what a lot of people struggle through when it comes to mental health issues. As far as the horror elements, there's a couple of really jarring images on the screen, but I definitely think this leans more into the exploration of mental health issues, less of like a straightforward on-the-nose horror movie, even though there are some really horrific images in this, especially towards the third act. And yeah, I just thought this movie was an entertaining experience. Like I said, I don't think it is perfect. I think there's some things that could be tidied up with it, but I think that for a first-time director, it was really impressive what she was able to pull off in this thing. And if you're looking for something new around the Halloween season, I think Appendage is a fun way to spend an hour and a half. Have you seen Appendage? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. I thought this movie was really fun and entertaining. I was really impressed by it. I don't think that it was perfect, but I still really enjoyed myself watching it. As always, if you like the video and subscribe to the channel, helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.